subject Strategic Management. I am Nursita Martia.
I am Rika Nopalia.
And I am Indriyani Agustin.
We are from
International Class,
University of Bengkulu.
Happy watching!
Electricity is a basic necessity of the people now. Without electricity, household activities, industrial activities, and teaching and learning activities will not work. Everything depends on electricity. But have we ever wondered where the electricity came from? Are there those who suffer from the convenience we receive? And is there an effect for the future?
closing the mine is not the best solution, but creating ways to reduce the impact will be better, and electricity will continue to flow throughout the archipelago. Indonesia is a democratic country that adheres to the Pancasila as its ideology. All activities must reflect on the Pancasila. But is it true that Indonesia has implemented the value that exists in the Pancasila? Do you people understand and care about the value of the Pancasila? Not yet fully. Sexy Killer film is a documentary about how Indonesia implements the Pancasila value in its life. The fact is the brightness of electricity that we enjoy every day is a dark as coal for some people. Steam power plants where using coal as fuel are the cheapest alternative to meet the country electricity needs, which are increasing. Hundreds of mines belonging to various companies are competing with the earth to get the coal. But in practice, the companies concerned are not responsible for the surrounding.
Mine excavated holes are left without reclamation, but just transporting coal freely fast through the sea, and even conservation areas that damage the coral reefs they pass through. Not to mention the coal spill that falls into the sea, which kills the fish that live there. They take everything that God has provided and then destroy it without thinking about its effects. Coal mining locations that are very close to residential areas also have a lot of adverse effects. Former excavation holes that have not been reclamation also claim many casualties. According to data record from 2011 until 2014, as many as 1,015 people were lost due to drowning in one hole. While in Indonesia there were 3,500 holes, most of which were abandoned after their contents were taken. Just imagine how many lives were lost a year. Residents also find it difficult to find clean water. They even have to drink, cook, and bathe using turbid water. The rice fields that were originally fertile are now dead because they are too close to the mining location.
They do not care about any loss experienced by the community. They don't have Pancasila ethics in doing this bussiness and blindly destroy nature for their wealth. Then what do local governments do to deal with this? Disappointing. The government that should protect the people is even indifferent to addressing this. Hearing the news about the many casualties of the local government did not care at all, even saying that it was their destiny to die in the hole. It is ironic, but this is the reality. Reclamation instead of going to make coal quarries as a place of recreation, finds ponds, or whatever is just bullshit. There are no guarantees given to the community. There is no effort to keep the promise. All let it go. The government, as the leader of the people, does not provide strict rules and sanctions for irresponsible coal miners. Communities around the mine and PLTU are far from being fair.
The Sexy Killer documentary is one of the most phenomenal films lately. Contrary to the little of these films with its substance, this film doesn't tell about lovers who kill each other or various other thoughts. Even the substance of this film narrates how our activities can indirectly influence and interrelate with the phenomena around us, one of which is about the environment. Every activity that we do is inseparable from the name of technology. This happened because of the quite high number of technological developments, so that technology is one of the many needs needed to support our lives indirectly. Our activities that are inseparable from technology intake are also inseparable from the things that sustain the technology that is moving, namely electricity. Energy production to produce electricity then becomes something that needs to be done to support community life, not to mention public consumption of electricity use, making electricity production boosted by the government. However, the development of this source of energy production has a very large impact on the environment, even for the people of Indonesia itself. This film raises issues that are quite simple and close to the community, but are quite sensitive and are rarely appointed by Indonesian filmmakers. Why is it sensitive enough? This is because the elite or the government are also indirectly involved in the issue. The issue is that the increasing dependence of the community on electricity has an impact on the environment and the people of Indonesia itself. Starting from the scenes that displays a pair of lovers who use various technologies for their needs and the question is, how can electricity enter this room? A short question which then opens the substance of this documentary about the dark side of the coal mining industry in Indonesia. What's with the coal mining industry? Coal is one of the largest energy sources in Indonesia. It is also quite spread in various regions in Indonesia, starting from Sumatra, Sulawesi, Java, Kalimantan, and various other regions in Indonesia. As one of the largest coal producers and exporters in the world, coal in Indonesia is divided into two: productions to be exported and partly to be sent to PLTU throughout Indonesia to become fuel. The high public consumption of electricity then opens opportunities for foreign and local investors to work on the benefits of these opportunities. As a result, various PLTU were placed on land and sea to fulfill the demand protected by the government. However, other disaster than the next question is, why it have to be the coal, even though there is still other energy that can be used for electrical source? To answer this, it can be seen that the price of coal is the cheapest fuel from various other energy sources, such as solar panels. Doesn't the industrial logic say, collect profits and minimize expense. This low price were paid for by the residents since the presence of coal-fired power plant that had a quite bad impact on the environment, their income and even their health, which was their guarantee. Cannot be followed up further by the government if its presence carries significant adverse effects. Is this not reported? Maybe if we have a question like the one above, the ideal answer is that we just wait the government respond.
However, only the irony can be seen from the phenomena that exist. Even the government side with the investor rather than its own people. Even the law supports investors so that people who struggle for health, work, and even their environment can be given sanctions or punishments for the local government. In addition, the reason the government supports these activities is because the government or elite can be said to be from the government involved in the case.
Where is justice if those who are supposed to be protectors of society, the servant of community, will become a professor of society who side with investors, who only pay attention to profits rather than people who are their trustees? A structural irony between the needs of the community for electricity, coal mining companies, and the government has become a vicious cycle that never ceases.
First look at it. You will be greeted by millions of hectares of land that has been deforested with traces of evacuation left unhiked. With the mine location which is right around the residential area, causing some houses to chill until they are totally destroyed. Many streets are broken and collapsed. Even the water drunk by local residents is no longer clear, but is cloudy, and the most ill-fated is that many children have lost their lives due to falling into the evacuation hole right near to the schools and against evacuation halls. You can look this video. So, who is to blame here? Government or company owner? Both parties seem indifferent to the condition that afflicted residents. From the recording of interview with the government of East Kalimantan, it was seen that he only said faith and was also concerned with the children who were victims of the evacuation. So, meaning videos close to community statement where, according to regulation of the Minister of Environment, the minimum distance of the pit with the residential settlement is 500 meters. But in the video, we can see that 500 meters, just 100 meters is also not reached. And I have one more videos debate among the government officer for the mining business of Group C evacuation with a mining area of more than 25 hectares required to arrange annually, which is regarding environment impact in accordance with the applicable legal regulation. After being mined, coal is piled on batch to be sent to the PLTU. More, the construction of the power plant takes up a lot of dispatches. The farmers who were seized by their field even though they have not been bought. Fishermen whose fish are lost due to coal barges that cross this area. And the most safe is the combustion smoke B3 waste, which contains deadly compounds and cause pollution of the soil, plants and even air, so as to bring dangerous disease to the surrounding residents, such as causing shortness of breath, asthma, to nasopharyngeal cancer. Even based on the Greenpeace study 2015, coal-fired power plants in Indonesia have caused 6,500 premature deaths every day. Are people silent and resign? Sell videos that to Jerry. Of course not. Various action and demonstration. Various action and demonstration were launched at the companies and PLTU who had criticized their safety, but the result of their lawsuit were rejected more in court. Even some of them ended up in prison. Then strongly, the mining companies that have sold many victims also get a halal labels, so they have Sharia shares in the capital market. Halal labels so
Yes, electricity has become a daily necessity. So, electricity for use is like an addictive substance that cannot be released even for a moment. Can we live just one day without electricity? Okay, even after only hour of electricity has died, we have complained on social media. That's right? Look at the content of our host. Do you watch television every day? And do you turn on the light, air conditioner, fan? Do you charge smartphone and laptop? I think yes. Do you use fridge, blender, and magic jar? Then, have you ever calculated how much electricity you spend per day to support your activities? Wait. So many videos post to community settlements where, according to regulation of the Minister of Environment, the minimum distance of the pit with the residential settlement is 500 meters. But in the video we can see that 500 meters, 100 meters is also not reached. And I have one more video debate among the government officer for the mining business of Group C, evacuation with a mining area of more than 25 hectares, required to run annually, which is regarding environmental impact, or in Bahasa AMDAL, in accordance with the applicable legal regulation.
So the solution from us is, from now on, let's turn out the lights and the air conditioner if it's no longer used.
If necessary, replace your lights with energy-saving lights and replace the air conditioner with an ordinary fan.
Turn off the television or computer if it's not used, and use a smartphone as needed so it is not often charged.
Thank you for watching, and